and so you graduate from college. You have all you have all these tools. You have certain things instilled in you. Where do you go from there? Like right after college, where did you go from there?
Right after college, I went into corporate America. I've
Oh,
always had jobs. I've always had jobs. And one thing
okay.
about it, I wanted to work in different fields. I wanted to have different jobs. I always knew kind of what I wanted to do in general and where I wanted to go, but I also wanted to have different jobs. Number one, I had to have money. Number two,
Mm-hmm.
I just like to know and have respect for different career paths, different people who have different jobs. I want to say
Yes.
that
Yes.
I was in that position, so I know how it can feel to be there. I know how it can feel to want to do something else, but you got to do this to make that money. I also want to have respect for the person who people may society may look down on their job, and I'm like, nah, why are you
Yep.
looking down
Yes.
on me? Like,
Yes.
I can
Yes.
never do that. It's a very humbling thing, especially
Yes.
when you started there, when you've done certain things. So I don't look at anybody who's out there making their money, making an honest living for their families or themselves. I don't look down on it, on any of it. And I've been there
Right.
and I've done it. And I also appreciate. I knew that if I ever made it to where I want to be at, which thank God that I'm where I want to be. I knew that I would look back on that and be
Yes.
so thankful to of where he's brought me to. So
So what did corporate America
Mhm.
what type of tools did you get from the corporate world? Because I mean, between the office politics, the bureaucracies, and just kind of climbing that ladder.
Mhm.
You have the chain of command, and people. It's like crabs in a barrel when it comes to the corporate world. So I'm wondering, what was your experience like, and what did you take from that?
Mm. My experience was very interesting. I learned how to work well with others. It's one thing when you're in school and you have to do a group project and you have to work well with people because you're working towards it to get a grade. And hey, guess what? If you fail that class, if you fail that assignment, you have another assignment going. You have another chance to get it right. As long you can be in college as long as you want to. They have to keep taking your money until you decide to graduate. However, corporate America is so different. It's cutthroat. You don't have that. You out of there. You fired. So you have to really work well with others. It's no other choice. It taught me how to work well with others. It taught me to be how can I say it? It taught me to make sure that I also pull my weight because I don't want to be the weak link of anything. And it also taught me that I can really accomplish anything that I put my mind to because every job that I've had, I have super exceeded it very easily.
Oh,
And I've
all
always
right, all
climbed the
right,
ladder so easy, you
okay.
know. So it was one of those things. It's like, and it showed me the range of anything of everything that I can do. It's like, well, you can do this, you can do this, you can do this, and I know that I can do that because I've done it. It's like I like challenging myself, So I learned
Absolutely,
that
absolutely.
was definitely takeaways. It was definitely takeaways from that, and it taught me to just really, it taught me to be appreciative as well of my earnings.
And so how did that humble you? Because you talk a lot about
Mhm.
humbling, yourself and having those humbling experiences. So and you was talking about, and I really appreciate the fact that you mentioned about not taking every job for granted, because I do agree wholeheartedly. Every job is important, even though we take a lot for granted. We take a lot of different positions for granted because there's certain just I mean, in all honesty, there's certain things I couldn't do. So I do
Oh yeah.
commend those. I do give my flowers to those who are actually doing that, and I want to, and I that's one of the goals of my platform also, is to give um homage to those who don't really get the spotlight, or those underdogs, so to speak. So I'm glad you
I get it.
mentioned that. Yes. So how okay, so because you mentioned a few things about corporate America. You said, customer service, building the interaction skills, interpersonal skills as well, because you coming from the shy kid, coming from the introvert, and then you're kind of moving into becoming your own individual from college, and then you go into the so I'm really like kind of like I'm absorbing your transition, right? So I'm absorbing how you are really kind of you know open yourself more, trying to find yourself. So when did that time happen for you, DC, when you actually found yourself, when you actually identified yourself? This is who I am. I am, and I mean, even if you didn't know where you wanted to be at that time, even if you didn't know what your goal was, what your purpose was, where did you find DC? Where did DC come from? Where did this, where did that DC come from? Like, where did that happen for you?
I'll say I found DC. That was definitely college as well.
It was college as
I
well.
feel like yeah, that was college as well. Where people I think fail to realize, and I used to hear a lot of people say that it's two sides to them, and this, whatever.
Oh, yeah,
And
the
I would hear
persona.
it.
Yeah, that different
Yeah,
persona.
absolutely. I would hear it and not understand it, but but it's real because that's me. Daryl is a totally different person than who DC is. Now I found DC really, and people were calling me that, but I really found out who he is in college. Daryl has always been there. He's
Yes,
always been there. He's like that goes back to Daryl is that little shy, quiet kid from a
yes.
small town that loves the simple things in life, that
Mhm.
loves to care for people, that love to, man, it's just like going back to that child, just that young innocent child. That's who Daryl is. The nicest person you'll ever meet. The one that's gonna
Yes.
speak to everybody.
Mhm.
The one that's gonna now DC can be a little wild. But but
There
we
was there
but
I meant to I want to
we
ask you, so DC, in college, I mean, were you popular with the ladies?
I don't know. I think we should what we should do is trim this particular clip out of this interview and put it put it on social media, and we'll see
Okay,
what the people
okay,
say. I
okay.
I can't confirm nor deny that. I don't know. I really don't know.
Mm, really?
I don't. I don't.
Mm,
I really don't know if I mean I may think that I was, but other people may be like, nah, I know you wasn't. So I don't know.
mm. Okay. All right. I'm gonna have to take your word for it, DC. Okay. But
As you should. As you should.
uh-huh. Sure. All right. So how long you been in corporate America?
Well, I'm not now, but I was in how long I
Oh,
was
wait,
in it
where
for
you in? Where you in? Where you? Yeah.
yeah, let me see, 15, 16, 17.
Because so you was okay. So you was in corporate America during the time you was pursuing your career in entertainment world. So you was still, because you
Absolutely,
still needed
absolutely.
because you still need a steady, yeah, you still need a steady steady income. So yeah, I get it. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah, yeah. So I
when
was
did you
still
move?
in it, but
Yeah. When did you move to
yeah, my
Atlanta?
last my last corporate America, my last job, as far as even just clocking in was in 2017, 2017.
Yeah. So
I think
when
it
did
was,
you this?
yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I think it was 2017. Yeah. Was it? I think it was my last one.
Oh, 2017. That's not that long ago.
Nah, not
Yeah.
really. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to ask you, when did
Wait, 15, 15, yeah, it was 15. I want to say 16, 17. I'm thinking myself now. I'm like, wait a minute. You got me thinking.
yeah, why you got you thinking, right? Like, where was it?
Yeah, absolutely.
When did you decide to move to Atlanta? Why and when did you decide to move to Atlanta?
Um, it was 2017.
Oh,
Actually,
okay,
yeah,
okay.
it was 2017. I moved here because I was still doing a lot of work here. I was coming back and forth to Atlanta so much, even when I was in college. Coming back doing different gigs, different
Yes,
modeling gigs at the time.
makes sense. Makes sense.
Uh, yeah, even then, even I started out doing a lot of background work on TV shows. So I was coming back and forth to actually do background work, and I was doing that to learn the ins and outs of the business, behind the
Mhm.
scenes, how set runs, set etiquette, set terms, all of that. So I was coming back and forth a lot to work, and I told myself, I'm like, I got to move to Atlanta because work started picking up so much more, and so
Yes.
that was my why. And yeah, 2017, that was the win.
Okay. Yeah, because just to in case some of you don't know, DC is he was the video vixen. He was the it guy at one point. He's the video vixen. You see him in quite a few videos,
Yeah,
being the love interest, being the lead, So, it was good to see, and I'm really proud of you on that front, to be able to.
thank you.
So what was your first gig? What was your first experience into that lane?
my like just period.
Very first.
My very first modeling gig was it was actually back in my hometown. It was a guy by the name of Toby the King who used to always do like a fashion show on the calendar for like women that for ladies. And he put me on there as a male, as a featured male model one year in that calendar. And so that was and he did a fashion show too, and I was in the fashion show. That was my very first gig ever. As far as acting, my very first background gig being on a set with actors or anything like that was the game on BET. I think that was in
Oh,
2012.
really?
2012, yeah, 2012. I want to say.
Yeah, because that's around the time you appeared on Essence as one of the when it was a sexy man.
Yeah, all of that.
I mean, you were
All of
just
that was
out
around
there.
that same
I
time.
was like,
Yeah,
okay, all
see,
right, DC.
funny story. Funny story on how that happened. I'm in college at the time, and a guy by the name of Mr. Martin, he was like, "Hey, he was like, they doing an Essence something." At the time, that's how, I'm hearing it, but I'm not hearing it. They doing some kind of Essence thing, yada yada. Y'all want to do it? It was like me and a couple of other guys. We're like, yeah, we'll do it, whatever it is. It ended up being like a brand ambassador gig, right? And I don't know if you've ever saw
Oh, okay.
the show Girls Trip with Queen
Yes,
Latifah, them, the guy
yes.
Kofi, who, I think it was Kofi that played that.
Sophie, yeah. Cerebo.
He was a brand ambassador in that particular movie, at Essence. So my
Oh,
life, that really
Ciroc,
happened in my life.
for
I
Ciroc, right?
wasn't supposed to rock. That's
Mhm.
what he was doing on the show,
Yes,
but
yes,
I mean on the movie. But for
yes.
me, it was I was doing something for like Walmart, and
Okay,
it
okay.
just so happened
Essence big.
that they was
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
They I just went for the check. I didn't know how big Essence was. I didn't know any of that. But I do know that I
Okay,
once again
Gotta stop you there,
what
sir. You know how big Essence was. Stop it.
well,
Stop it.
I didn't know how big.
Don't
No,
do
I didn't know
that.
how big. I didn't know how big Essence Fest was because I was
Okay.
new to it.
Oh, okay. Because all
Yeah,
right.
I knew what. Yeah, I knew what
Ooh.
Essence. I knew what Essence was. I didn't
DC.
know how
Oh, okay.
big.
Okay. I'm about to say, don't play now. Don't play DC. Okay.
Yeah.
Woo.
No, I didn't know how big. I didn't know how big Essence Fest, the festival was
Okay.
itself.
Okay.
Essence Fest.
All right. I'm sorry.
So
I'm sorry. You took me out of my. You almost took me out of my body. Okay.
no,
Woo.
you good.
Okay.
You good. You
Okay.
good. Yeah, you good. Yeah, that particular day, it was lady. People they had their own ambassadors, and they were walking
Yes.
around handing out a flyer that was like, "Hey, we having this male model competition over here on this stage,
Oh.
yada yada."
Okay.
So
Okay.
I snuck away from doing the brand ambassador gig. I asked the lady who was over, so I'm like, "Hey, you mind run over here to do this real quick?" I went over there while I was supposed to be doing brand ambassador work. While we were on like the main stage over there by Walmart, but they had like Trey Songz coming out and a whole lot of other people, this, that, and the
All right.
third.
So you
And I'm
pulled
like,
yourself away. Yeah.
yeah, I pulled myself away, and I went over there and I won the contest. And I'll never forget, Free from 106 and Park was hosting it, and I was like major
Wow.
at the time. Free was somebody who I've always wanted to meet. I went over there, I won it, and then the editor in chief at the time, Charlie Penn, she was like, "Come here real quick." I went over there and she gave me her card. She said, "Hey, I wanna put you in in Essence in the magazine, and I want to put you on our website as a male, Essence eye candy." I was, "Oh yeah,
Oh.
absolutely. I'll send you the email. Thank you so much." As soon as I got back to Alabama, I sent that lady an email and I sent all of my information. And she responded. She was like, "Okay, and by the way, nice to meet you, Fred." So see, she's in the
Wow.
sorority to
Right.
my
Right.
fraternity, and
Right.
automatically that was an instant connection right there. And yeah, that's kind of how that happened. And then before I know it, I think maybe a few weeks later or a month later, I was Essence Magazine's eye candy. I was in
Mhm.
there, and that was my first time doing anything that made me go international.
Oh, so that was because that was the start of the DC train. That's what it was.
Yeah. I guess
Yeah.
it was in a sense. Yeah, it was in a sense because I was in a modeling troupe too that taught me a lot of different techniques and
Oh,
things
good.
when I
Okay.
was in college. So I was in a few different organizations in college. I was in elite, which was yeah, that taught me a lot. And
That
also what else? And I did a show by a guy named Perry Varner. He used to put on a show in Montgomery, and I did his show as well, which was I think in front of like 1,200 people, 1,500 people, or something like that. That was a big fashion show that I had that I
Okay.
was a part of in Montgomery. And before Facebook became what it is now, I woke up to so many friend requests and different things like that the next day, and I was like, yeah, I kind of like this. So
Oh yeah,
yeah,
you
all
were
of that kind
feeling
of
it. You
happened
was
within
feeling it.
yeah, all of that kind of happened within a year and a half time. So yeah, that's kind of where the DC train started.
Oh yeah, and then it's just been riding ever since. I see. I mean, just doing the doggone thing. But let me see if I can find you on. Let me see if I can find this. I got it. I got it. I got it, DC. I got it, DC. All right. All right. There we go. Yeah, because I want to make sure that they are reminded of what we're talking about. That is that it? That it? The eye candy? Yes, there it is.
We're
There it
gonna see
is.
it.
Yeah. What you say, DC? What you say?
Yeah. That's it. That's definitely
Oh,
it.
yeah. So now we got this in front of us. Tell us about your experience doing the shoot, doing the like just the whole experience of, on this S's appearance.
Okay, so the shoot was actually done prior to that. That was a shoot that I had already done. A photographer by the name of Michael Moorer. He did the shoot. So as far as that, I had to just send them images, and I just had to send back in the question that they sent over to me. So that was the only process as far as the whole essence, just being on the website itself. It wasn't a major process.
Okay, alrighty. But I'm like I said, but it was still, I mean, but you still, appeared in essence nonetheless. So that's that's the
Absolutely.
overall important thing. But DC, I'm going to take just a few minutes to welcome some of our guests in. So while you do that, I want you to check the back chat real quick. Because I remember I told you actually to pull up something and I forgot to I forgot to tell you before we went on. So go check the back chat and you'll see what I'm talking about. Okay. So
Okay.
while I welcome in our guests, shout out to Angela. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support, Angela. I really appreciate that. Shout out to Miss Stevie. Miss Stevie. I know you had an interview with her as well, right? Miss Stevie.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Oh yes. Yes. So shout out to I'm going to be interviewing Miss Stevie on the 28th. So please make sure you check out that interview. I'm looking forward to talking with her because it's a long time coming. So shout out to Miss Stevie and shout out to Deontay's reviews. Deontay is one of our popular Country Wayne review content creators. So
Okay.
yeah, so he said, DC, what's up, my guy? So yes, so that shout out to Deontay's
What up?
reviews.
What up?
Yeah, shout out to Ayana, Goddess London. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for your support as well. I get so much love on these different Country Wayne platforms on YouTube. So I do appreciate that. I do appreciate y'all coming on. Welcome, Tori 9191 in the building. Kimberly Black, thank you so much for your support. I really do appreciate you. You always come through when I come up on the lives, when I come up on these interviews, you're always there. So I do appreciate your support. It doesn't go unnoticed or I take it for granted. So shout out to each and every one of you coming in. And if you catch the replay, please do like, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. DC, you got it?
I got it. I got it. I
Okay.
got to pull it
So,
up.
yeah, hold on to it. Hold on to that.
Okay. Okay.
Okay, I just want to make sure you got it. Yes, I forgot. Yeah, I forgot to ask you to pull it up. All right, so she was from the Essence. You did appearances. You did the modeling thing, and so when was your first acting gig? Like your first acting gig?
um Outside of doing background, correct.
Right, outside of right.
Yeah, my real first acting gig. Yes, I was about to say, yeah, that to me is not really
Yeah,
acting like that, but
right,
it
right.
was yeah.
But it's trust me. Don't sleep on that. Don't sleep on the
Yeah.
background. The background now
Gotta
got you
have it.
put you to the forefront. It pushes you to the
Got,
forefront.
gotta have it. You gotta have it.
Mhm.
My very first gig was in 2015. I mean, 2015. I want to say it's a movie called 21 O Day that was directed by Brendan Holland.
Okay.
And I was playing like a love interest of I think I'm saying it wrong. Jonica Blue. They called her Blue. She was on Bad Girls Club back in the day. So that was my very first gig.
Yeah, and how did you get that?
Um, Brendan, he reached out to me about it. He's
Okay.
a director from Alabama as well, director, writer. Um, So he reached out to me about doing it. He said he thought that I'd be a great fit for it. All of that stuff comes back to just networking and meeting
Yes.
people on social media and things like that. So that's how I ended up getting my first one. And so many things have just come to me from simply networking and knowing people, which is, which is crazy. I tell people, you got to network. You got to network.
Yes.
And
It's a
with the
way
power
around
of
it.
God and network, with the
Yes.
power of God and
Yes.
networking,
Amen.
you can go anywhere.
Absolutely, because you've been everywhere. You've been on, the big screen. You've been on, the Tubi. And I know people have their ish to say about Tubi, but Tubi, don't sleep on Tubi. I mean, then you have some movies that are not so great, some acting that's not so great, but at the same time, it is still a platform for a lot of filmmakers that are not able to have the backing of big networks out there. Tubi is a platform for a lot of people to put their work out there. And so
Absolutely.
DC,
People got something to say about everything
yeah,
anyway.
I know, I
I've
know.
learned that. I've learned
Yeah,
that.
exactly. But I mean, but like I said, but we still watch, we still entertain. Oh, I mean, I'm a Tubi fan. I mean, and I've seen you on
I'm
there.
watching something on Tubi today. I'm gonna watch something later on today on Tubi. I don't know what it's gonna be,
That's
but I'm
right.
gonna
You
find
do
it.
that. You do just that. Support.
Absolutely.
Because we'll talk about supporting each other, right? This is
Absolutely.
how you do it. This is exactly how you do it. And it's for free. So do
Absolutely.
that. So you've been in many Tubi movies. You wanted the kings of Tubi. So let me I'm gonna give you my top 5 top
Okay.
Tubi actors. So
Okay.
it's DC, Lamaster Spratling,
Okay.
DeWan Ford, Nelson
Okay.
Davis. Lord, Nelson Davis, yes. And
Okay.
not in a particular order. And it's a tie between Kamal Smith and Kamel Hassan. Those are to me my top 5
Okay.
Tubi actors.
I think it's like two of them that I'm not familiar
But,
with, but
I,
I
yeah,
do know. Yeah, that's dope. That's dope. That's
yeah,
dope.
yeah. So go ahead. Which ones are you familiar with?
Oh man, my favorite. Let me see. Let me see. Let me see.
Out the ones I mentioned, the ones that you're familiar with.
Nelson. Nelson. Who was the first? Who was the first one that you
It
said?
was
I know.
Nelson Davis, you,
Yeah, Nelson.
DeWan Ford, and then it was what Lamaster Spratling,
Yeah, the
and
Master Spratling.
then a tie between Kamal Smith and Kamel Hassan.
I think it's Camille Hassan. I think that I'm familiar with too. Yeah. Well, I appreciate you for throwing me in there.
Yeah, and I got to give a few honorable mentions to Emery Lawrence with his fine ass. But yeah, I'm going to be. And matter of fact, just a shameless plug, I'm going to be interviewing with Emery Lawrence on the 22nd. So please make sure you look out for that as well, because he's been everywhere as well. I think he and DC are kind of runner. So if you see these people, if you see these actors, and if you're auditioning and you see any of these actors, just know that they're gonna get the part. They're gonna get the part, especially on
Hey, I wish it were. I wish it were that easy.
So yes,
Man, I wish it were. I wish it were.
So I'm going to be interviewing with Emery Lawrence Saturday on the 22nd. Make sure you're there, DC. If you can make it, I really appreciate you. I'm able to make
Absolutely.
that. Yeah, and so another honorable mention. This is a couple. Denzel Dangerous is an honorable mention. And also Gravy. The one that played Big.
Jamal.
Yeah, Jamal.
Absolutely.
So it's
He's
quite a
very,
few.
very cool guy too.
Yeah. He kind of was he said some controversial things, but I mean, we don't talk about that, right now, about, Black women being hardest to deal with. But, that's I think that's the sentiment of a lot of men, but that's a whole nother conversation. But, but my point was that, you among all these other actors that I mentioned, Tubi gave the platform for you guys to really showcase your talents. And so we gotta kind of give it up for Tubi, give it up to these actors, give it up, just shout out to all of you in this lane right now. And you also doing work on the Country Wayne act skit. So how do you balance it between
Absolutely.
like the Country Wayne skits, all of the videos that you're doing, all of the projects that you've done? How did you manage that and also have time for you? Do you have a social life? Do you have fun? Do you have any?
Now
Do you get sleep? Do you get
that's
sleep?
the tricky part. That's the tricky part. As far as having me time, I have to squeeze just me time in when I can, to be honest with you. I think I have yet to probably just have a moment in maybe a long time that I can just sit there and just soak in. Like, I'm chilling today. I don't have
Right.
nothing to do. I
So
don't
you
have to
make
worry
time for
about
that.
nobody. Yeah, I'm gonna try. I think I'm about to book me a trip somewhere. That's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah, do
I'm
that.
gonna book me
Yes.
a trip somewhere. So yeah, I do have my own me time, but it's like it's one of those things where it's like it just has to, I have to work it in when I
You
can.
gotta make it. You have to work it in. Yes. And what do you do with that time? Like, what do you do for fun? What do you like to do?
What do I like to do for fun? I'm a podcast watcher for one. I watch
Oh.
podcasts. I listen to podcasts. I
So what are
love
some of
watching
the ones you like?
I like R&B money. I like the art of
Okay.
dialogue. The art of dialogue is like my favorite one now. This a new one.
It's been popping lately.
Um,
Yes. Yes.
yeah, art of dialogue. I like Club Shay Shay. But the Breakfast Club, although it's a radio show, like to me, it's like a podcast too now. But it's
It is.
maybe I don't.
Mhm.
Yeah. Um. What else? It's quite a few.
Yeah. Okay.
I also used to like the Dear Future Wifey
Oh.
podcast as well.
Mm.
I think it's Dear Future Wifey. I think they got another
Yeah.
one, Dear
Different
Future Husband.
trophy. Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, so I like those, and I am a big sitcom lover, like
Yeah.
90s sitcoms. I like a lot of
Oh,
modern day
see,
ones too. They
DC, you
cool, but
man. You now that you said that, you're a man after my own heart. Yes. 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 Okay.
yeah,
You said no, the
yeah.
sitcoms. Yes. Okay.
So I
But I
do that.
wanted.
I listen to music too, and sometimes I
Watch.
like to
Mhm.
just go sit at my
Yes.
local bar.
Yeah. All right. Okay. But I'm glad that you. I mean, at least you have some recreational things. Your leisure. You have some leisure time. So that's the most important thing. So just
Absolutely,
being able to balance that. But I wanted to also make sure, like, as a just kind of showcase your skills. Because you're very well versed. In that TV, film, or modeling, but you also have these facial expressions that really just hit the mark, and you don't have to say anything, but you just hit the mark. So I want to just kind of show this is one of my favorite things here. So I just want to show this.
Ladies, if you want your hair curly like mine, use some of this curling enhancer
Look at
cream
DC's face, y'all. Look at
and
DC's
this
face.
mouse.
Not mouse.
What is it,
Mouse.
mouse? My son is sick of me. Use some of this mousse and stuff and do all of this. You want your curls like mine? Sick of you too. Ladies, if you gonna wear a bonnet in the airport, please don't get you a headscarf from Pardon My Fro. Put one of these on. It's cute. You don't want all that bonnet in there. You be wearing a well, he don't you wear but well so fine. Ladies, if you gonna wear your hair natural, don't have it all dry. Add some moisturizing hair milk to it. Hair dried in some dry sheets. Ladies, if you gonna come on the plane eating all that food and onions and stuff like that and spit getting all in your hair, get you some hydrating braid and scalp spray. Spray that. All that bubble on your hair, they like, you smell like onions. But now I don't, because I got this.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I just had to show that. Shout out to Not Carlton Banks. That is one of his many different characters that he plays. And so and DC's facial expressions is the co-star to me, one of the main attractions on that commercial. And so I just
Yeah.
wanted to make sure that I showcased that. How did you get that far? How did you collaborate with Not Carlton Banks?
That was it was just a hair campaign that I was doing, and when I got there, it was like they just paired me right there to sit, to actually just be over there. It was like we were just I don't know, it was just kind of trial and error, I guess, and that's what it came out of it.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Yeah, shout
Thank
out
you.
to Not Carlton Banks. That's, yeah. So I just okay. Yeah, so I just wanted to know also, DC. I know you said I I think you did. You act, did you answer the question about how you manage it? 'Cause I know you said what you like to do. I mean, we got into like what you like to do for fun. I mean, I meant to ask you how do you manage your demanding schedule? That's what I want to say. How do you manage it?
As far as that, I just, I think I've always been a person who can manage time very well.
Okay.
That's one of my strong suits. So as far as managing that, I just sometimes it's hard because I used to get double booked a lot. I had to learn to
Mhm.
prioritize. I just had to learn to prioritize. It's like, whatever's important, that's gonna come first.
Got
Whatever
you.
is taking on the list is gonna come second, so I had to prioritize.
So let me ask you, do you have someone special in your life, or you just dating, having some fun? What's your status, DC?
I keep a lot of keep someone special in my life. There's a lot of special people in my life.
Here we go. Here we go.
Hey, you asked and I answered.
All right, all right. Whatever.